And then the next day I had to just, go to the hospital and like, what's happening again? So that one too, I lost it again. At that point, I was devastated because I now sat down and said, okay, so what am I now going to do now? What is the problem? My husband will be talking to me. This, when someone is talking to you and you're not really there, you just be looking at him, and then it's just like, he will call my mom, call my dad. He doesn't know what's wrong with me. My mental was terrible. Like, there was a day I just sat down and started thinking, what's the essence of life?
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria Ayodele Fash. If it's your first time here, thank you so much for joining me. If you're a returning subscriber, I love you. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for always coming back. Okay, so welcome to the next episode, or to the next series or phase, I don't even know what to call this, of the Unashamed series. I want to thank as many guests as I have had in the past, as many who have also volunteered to be a part of this series. Thank you so much. If I haven't reached out to you yet, be rest assured that I am going to reach out to you. If you want to be a part of this series, there is a link in my community tab. I shared a link. I'm going to reshare it after this video, when you're watching this video, so that you can go over there, click on the link and register on Google, register on the Google form through the link that is on my community tab, and then I will get in touch with you. Okay, so yes, thank you guys so very much. So today I have a very interesting episode for you. Yes, I have an amazing lady right here. Yes, she's also a subscriber. She's been a part of this family for, I think, 2 years now, you said? Yeah, so she's been a part of this family for about 2 years now, and she's here to share our own journey. You guys know that on the Unashamed series, I think I should take off my glasses because of the reflection. I'm in a very open space. But anyways, you guys know that here on the Unashamed series, people from diverse backgrounds and diverse people come to share their life's journey, their life experiences, with the hope that it's going to help someone out there. And I'm really certain that what we're about to discuss today is going to be super helpful and super encouraging to everyone. So thank you so much, Tammy. Sorry, I said Tokwe. Thank you so much, Tammy, for being a part of the series. Thank you so much for volunteering to share your experience. I am so grateful. So before we start too much, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Sure.
My name is Tammy. I'm Yoruba. I'm a Yoruba girl. I currently stay in America. I'm in Maryland, and that's it.
Okay. All right, so let us get into the video for today, right? So I read the summary of your of what you wrote on the Google form, and I think it was really intriguing to me because, again, this particular topic is something that I know a lot of people struggle with, and there are a lot of stigma around it, so many people don't really come out to share and talk about it. And that's why I feel like, okay, we need to really talk about this, right? So I am going to allow you to tell your story however you want it. If I have question in between, I'm just going to interrupt you too. So the channel is yours. Okay, so just tell us your story from beginning, getting married, and then the journey after.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm a big fan. So I got married April 2021. Prior to when I got married, I actually we actually did our court wedding, and I was just waiting on my visa. So my visa was ready in 2021, and I was able to join him. So we did the wedding, and then we came to America. I got married in April, and then I came to join my husband in May.
Wow, that's fast. In the US.
Yeah, wow. Because we had waited for a date, and as soon as I did the interview, it was like fast. So when I got married, we moved to I joined my husband in the US, and we started life. So initially, I really wanted to have a job because I was working with one of the big fours, and I left the job to come and start again. So for someone that is like a career person, I really wanted to come here, and I didn't want to do the odd jobs and all these things. So I just wanted to come, and the first thing on my mind was just to get a job. So I was waiting for my credentials so I can just start working. So basically what was on my mind was just having a job first, and then we trying to get a house, because it was like a small apartment we were staying. So but I just realized that I got pregnant in July. And it's like 2 years now from that time. It's 2 years from now to the time to now is like 2 years now. So I realized I was pregnant, and in between that realization I got the job. And the job was like quite far from where we stay. It was like over an hour at Annapolis. So I just, okay, that's fine. I mean, what can I do? So I was happy, we were happy, and I was going to work every day, going and coming. And after I think 5 weeks, at 5 weeks, I started bleeding seriously, and I lost the pregnancy. Now at that point, I did not have my insurance yet, because I just moved, and I was still trying to work out my insurance for medicals, to see the doctor and all that. So I could not even see the doctor. I could not go to any hospital until like a week after. So I mean, it was a sad experience. We were sad.
So you cried. Wait a minute, you couldn't see a doctor really, after the miscarriage?
Yeah, I couldn't see a doctor because I was still trying to process my papers. I didn't have any, like, I know that I could go to the urgent care, but I mean, I couldn't just, I mean, when you go, what can they do than to check and tell you sorry? So I just said, okay, let me just wait for my insurance, because my insurance came like some days after. So the insurance came, and I saw the doctor, and then the doctor confirmed it.
So how long was you pregnant? You said 6 weeks?
It was like between 4 to 5 weeks, I think. So it was like really early, you know. So
how did you know you had a miscarriage? Oh, sorry, you said you were bleeding.
Yes, I was bleeding, and I knew that, because you know when you're bleeding and you see the thing, you know that, oh. So I saw the doctor, and the doctor confirmed it by just checking. They didn't even have to do an ultrasound. So the doctor confirmed it that, oh, I'm sorry. And that doctor was not so nice. She was just like, she was a Yoruba doctor, and she just said, oh, sorry, you lost it, and she just left. I was so sad. I just sat in the hospital room. I cried, and then cleaned my tears and went back home. So, and I had to go to work the next day.
Wow.
So, I mean, this is a job. Yeah, this is a job that I just got, and it was even through an agency. So it's not like you can just call and say, oh, I can't come today. It's not the way America works. I'm sure you know. So so I had to go to work, and just, I mean, I had to recover fast. That's just what I was. I had to recover fast. So in the midst of that, we were trying to get a house, and God did it. December, we got a house, like within 6 months that we moved. So I focused on my job and trying to get a house, the whole signing documents, and also. But before we now moved to the house again, I realized I was pregnant. I think that was November. November was my birthday, but I realized I was pregnant, I think some days before my birthday.
So
I think it was a day before.
I'm sorry.
A day before my birthday.
Were you guys trying to get pregnant, or was it just, it just happened?
Well, at this point, when you know that you lost a baby, I was trying, because, I mean, before I was trying to get a job, and I have a job now. So when it happened, we were actively trying, because, I mean, when you're expecting something and then you lost it, you just want to have another as soon as possible. So we were trying, and then I got pregnant again. I think this November. That's a day before my birthday. That's when I realized, and we were so happy, because the next month was when we were moving to our new house. So I mean, everything was happening fine. We were happy. We moved to the house in December, I think middle of December, and we moved to the house December 15 or so, and then December 29, I just started bleeding again, and At that point, my husband was at work, so I was like the only one at home, and I was just like, what's this? Aisha booked an Uber and quickly rushed to the hospital. By the time I got to the hospital, I was bleeding seriously. Like, it was really bad.
How long was the pregnancy at this time?
At that point, at that point it was 9 weeks. It was 9 weeks, and I was just, I didn't even know what to do. I was just like, what is this? And the way the emergency here works, it's emergency, but it's not really emergency in that sense. It's emergency based on your condition and situation. So if you go in for emergency and there's like a baby or a toddler that needs more attention, you basically have to wait. No matter your situation, you have to wait. So they even tell you, they said it's emergency based on the situation and the ailment. So I think I had to wait like another 2 hours. Even one people, I had to wait another few hours for them to run a test and draw your blood as usual. And then that night I didn't go because they had to admit me. And over
after
the midnight,
having you wait for 2 hours.
Well, the emergency is based on the situation of things.
I know, trust me.
I had to wait.
No, the system the medical system in America is it's not a subject for today.
I know. So I had to wait, and they called me in. I had my blood drawn and the test and everything, and they confirmed that the HCG. I think they checked the HCG that night, and then the next morning, and then I had a nurse come in, and she had to use her hand to evacuate, and I think they did an ultrasound and they confirmed that, oh, this is like, you really lost it. And she was like, oh, I'm so sorry. And at that point, my husband works overnight sometimes, so he was at work. So it was the next morning when I came to the hospital, because I didn't tell him. I just, when in the morning I'll send him a message. So I sent him a message. I'm like, I'm in the hospital. He was like, I was wrong and all that. I came to the hospital to meet me, and then I told him I was crying. I was so sad. I was like, I don't know what's happening to me. In fact, I was devastated, and he just had to pray with me, because him too was devastated. We were both devastated. What can we do? Like, we were just. So they discharged me, and we left the hospital. I remember that day it was raining, and coming back home again, the car was just silent. Nobody was saying anything. There was nothing to say.
Yeah.
Then I called my mom and told her, she was just crying, like, what is happening? So it was at that point that my doctor knew that they had to run. You know, when something has happened twice, because they say that there's a certain number of times that you have a miscarriage, and they have to run some more in-depth tests on you. So she did all the tests. I mean, when they so I did an ultrasound. So when they did the ultrasound, they now found out that I had fibroids, but the fibroids were little, they were small. So my doctor was like, oh, these fibroids are too small. Like, there are a lot of black African women that have fibroids and they get pregnant, and this fibroid is like too small. I'm not sure this is what is causing it. But then she said, oh, so one fibroid is like very close to the cervix, so maybe you should have a surgery to scrape that one off. But the other ones are not, you know, when there's fibroid somewhere and they have to like cut you, she said it's not worth it, that is too small. So I said, oh, that's fine, I can just get that surgery done, because it was like a minor surgery. So they did every other test and everything was good. So I had that surgery in March last year, 2022. So when I had the surgery, it was a minor surgery. My husband took me down there to the hospital, and I had the surgery done, and I recovered fast. I went to meet my doctor. She said, okay, now that this one has been scraped off, that I'm very sure that, I mean, things will be good from here. She did every other test and everything was good. So, but I was told that we have to wait for another, was it 6 months? I think 3 to 6 months. I was like, 3 to 6 months, okay. I can't wait 3 to 6 months. I remember telling my friend, I said, me that it's like as if I should have my baby. No. Which kind of 3 to 6 months? So I just said, okay. After 1 month, I started acting. I'm like, I beg, nothing is wrong with me. Let us, which one is 3 to 6 months for what? So I was actually trying, but nothing was happening until so I now realized I got pregnant again in July 2022. I was happy. I said, finally now, at least we have removed everything.
And when was the
everything is
surgery?
fine.
This
March.
was in March.
The surgery was March. Yeah.
Okay,
So
that's 4
July.
months. Okay.
Yeah. So July, I got pregnant again. So the doctor was even thinking I followed that schedule. That okay, that's good. But I had been trying since so I called my doctor and let her know that I'm pregnant again, and she was like, oh, that's good. I know. So she scheduled because of what has happened, she scheduled an earlier appointment with me to meet me at I think 6 weeks.
Okay.
But at 5 weeks again, I started bleeding again. I remember that day I was working, because I work from home. I had to stop going to the office because of what was happening, because I drive 1 hour and a half. So my husband was like, no, tell them that you work from home. And no, maybe it's the stress, maybe it's this, that. So I had started working from home, and that morning I just realized I was just, and this thing now, when you have already had 2 miscarriages, when you go to PSF, you'll be looking at the tissue. The tissue will be looking at you. You will just be cleaning, checking.
Just to be sure.
So that morning I was just like, what is this? I called my mom again. I said, Mommy, see what's happening again. But don't worry. She was like, don't give in to fear. That you are fine. That don't worry. That sometimes it happens. They say that sometimes it happens, that you just have a little bleed. I'm like, okay. The bleeding increased. And then the next day I had to just, go to the hospital and what's happening again? So that one too, I lost it again. At that point, I was devastated, because I now sat down and said, okay, so what am I now going to do now? What is the problem? My doctor was confused. At the point she said, okay, let's do some other in-depth tests. Because there is OBGYN and there's high risk OBGYN. So they were like, okay, let me refer you to the high risk OBGYN. Let's do further tests. I remember doing in that August, I did so much tests that I lost, because I was not even eating again. Anyways,
that's before we
fasting.
move on with the story. I just that what you're talking about, not being able to eat and all of that, trust me, I know people close to me, who have lost pregnancies, even just one. And I know how devastating it is, even if you have 7
even
children.
if it's 1 week that you knew, even if it's just 1 week that you knew that you were pregnant, it's crazy.
How was your mental health? How was your relationship with God? I'm very, very interested in that aspect. You are a Christian. How did that affect your relationship with God? Did that experience bring you closer to God, or what was your mind state spiritually, physically during that period, before we go on with the story?
My mental health was in shambles. That one was even.
And then your relationship with your husband.
My husband will be talking to me. This, when someone is talking to you and you're not really there, you just be looking at him, and then it's just like, you will call my mom, call my dad. He doesn't know what's wrong with me. In fact, there was a point that my dad is not really someone that talks a lot. If he spends time on the phone with me, maybe 5 minutes. There's a day he spends almost 30 minutes on the phone with me. You should know that something is wrong. For my dad to be talking and just be encouraging you for my mental health was in shambles. I was not talking to anybody. I would just wake up, start my work. I will not eat anything. I will tell if my husband comes back and say, I'll be eating, I'll say I'll be eating. I will cook his own food and I will not eat anything. The whole day, I will just be on my system. I will work. My work is supposed to be 8 hours. I can do 9-10 hours because I'm just looking for a distraction. I've totally lost it. So my mental was terrible. There was a day I just sat down, I started thinking, what was the essence of life? When people came all the way to marry you, because my husband's family, they are here. They came all the way to marry you in Nigeria. And you came, nothing.
Is your husband a Nigerian?
Yeah, he's a Nigerian, but he's here and he has been here for a while. So, he said, you came now, nothing. after you people have waited for visa for almost 2 years. You know that the way the devil just starts bringing everything. If my husband family comes, said the shame to even go downstairs and say hello. And you know, because they know. I mean, so my mental health was something else. And my relationship with God. I remember when I came, because when I came in May, I joined the church my husband was attending, Redeem, and I loved their choir. I said, I'll join this choir. By the time the first one happened, I was not even thinking about choir or anything. Everything I was just thinking about, so how will I solve this problem? How will I see the doctor? My major issue was doctor's appointment, journey. Doctors, I stopped going to church. And you know it's worse here because if you just stop going to church, you have really stopped.
It's encouraged.
You have really stopped. So if you stop going to church, you have really stopped. You will just be doing that online.
I'm telling you, online.
If
even
you don't,
online, because you just drop the phone.
If you do online on your bed, doing online while cooking and all those things.
Cooking and cleaning.
So it was really bad, but as that last year, after my surgery, I looked for a church closer to where we now stay and said, okay, let me start going. But when that one happened again, I was just like, I did not even see, I can't lie to you, I did not even think of, the best I can do is, I found Apostle Selman's messages. I will just go on YouTube, okay. I think this man is is a man of God, but he's also a realist.
Yeah.
There's a way he says things, and you will just be like, So his messages are really inspiring. So I just to lift my spirits, and the best I do again is the NSPPD. That NSPPD itself, I was not even constant like that. I was just on and off. Today I'll do tomorrow. So it was not really constant. And sometimes I listen to Pastor Mildred, all those at 3 p.m. Those are the things that help me to focus while working, because sometimes I'm just distracted, thinking, devastated, crying. So although I pray, you will pray now. I mean, what can you do? It's not still God that will answer your prayer. You pray, but you will just be like, why me? Like every single person, because I had friends that we got married that same year, 2021, and most of them even got married after April. As at that last year, that May, June, that July, that happened to me. One of my friends that got married in August was already sending me link for baby shower. Oh, talk about baby shower link, this, that. That July she already had a baby, because she had a baby in June. So as of June, she was sending me link, baby shower link and all that. Like every single one of them is I know they said, oh, don't compare, but then you just start thinking like, is everything all right?
Of course.
Like, what did I do? These are people that these are people that we were in the same hostel, we went to the same, at least if it's food, we are eating the same food. Is everything all right with me? You start doubting yourself that, what's the problem? My immediate sister, after 3 months, she had gotten pregnant, she had a baby. Like, there was no history of fibroid, or even my mom was like, you don't have fibroid, it's not fibroid they saw. My mom did not believe it. Tomorrow she'll say it's a lie. Don't say that. She'll say you don't have any fibroid. They're the one that know what they saw. You don't have it. So it was just devastating. So as at August, my doctor now ordered tests. That August, I did almost if I will count it, and I'm very sure it's going to be maybe more than that. I had to go draw blood like 30 times. I will be going to the hospital. They will draw blood, they will check. That one is fine. AMH is fine. The hemoglobin is fine. This one is fine. You know what? It's a different thing when you know that, okay, there's a problem that we want to solve. And then they are checking, and then everything is fine. And then my doctor, sometimes I'll send her email before, because she's someone that responds fast, but you will know that she doesn't know what to say. That's why she's responding a little later. So I was just confused. I was like, what is happening? I was depressed. I shut everyone out. I didn't talk to anybody. The only people that I talk to are just my family, my mom, my dad, even my brother self. They call, I will not even pick the call. Me that I'm like a very, at least I'm not an extrovert like that, but I'm not so much of an introvert. I shut everyone out. Like, I was almost disabling my Instagram self. I said, what am I even doing on Instagram? Because it was at that point that it was like Instagram me that I was looking for a child. They will now be showing me pictures of babies. Every single time I open, it's baby. I'll say, But one thing that I did was, at least one thing that I know that I did was, whenever somebody tells me, like someone I know close to me tells me that, oh, I had a baby, I will make sure I send something. I did not allow what I was going through to make me envious, because there's a thin line. You won't know. Because you won't know that you are starting to be envious. Like,
envious is even modest. You become bitter.
Bitter, exactly, that's the word. You will not know that you are starting to become really bitter, because by the time the person tells you, you will be happy for them, but you will now look at your situation and be like, So, after that August, when all the tests, she ran all the tests, and then she said everything was fine. She now told me that the last test she would advise me to do was the is it AMH or something, that one where they check your fallopian tubes,
HSG
and HSG. So I was like, because me, before they do any test, I will go on Google, and I like to know what I want to do, because I don't just want to go there and they start doing something. I'm like, what are you people doing? And hey, before that time, they did a test to check my cervix. I remember. So they did a test just to check if there was something else blocking the cervix. And then because they use a catheter and a balloon, and then when they checked, they could not even open the cervix. That was another problem. They said, we don't know what's blocking, they can't open. I'm like, my mom said, see, don't do anything again, don't do any test again. Feel it. Because you will just be frustrated when you are, it's like you are, don't recall, to see me. Another one is still, you just be, what is happening? So in my heart of hearts, like, the spirit was not just allowing me, because here they're going to tell you, okay, do you want to do it or not? They don't force you. So if you say you're not doing. So I was like, okay, I didn't respond to her email. I went to Google the HSG, and it says you have to, like, they will check your fallopian tubes, that whatever is blocking it. But I was like, okay, if something is blocking it,
how would you be pregnant to begin with?
In the first place. I mean, it's just common sense. I said, I'm not doing Jerry. So I said I was not doing. So I just kept brooding my brood, praying the prayer that I can pray. Then I had a friend here, and I just told her, I said, maybe I should go to Shady Grove, because there's a fertility clinic here called Shady Grove for those that want to do maybe IVF, IUI. I said, maybe I should try, let me start with IUI, because I went on Instagram, I saw stories where they do the IUI and it's successful. I said, maybe I should start with that one, and then from there, God will do it. Maybe when they put it together, it will stay. So I had already called Shady Grove. They will tell you to fill forms. I filled the forms, and they sent me the tests that they wanted to do again. Hey, the series of tests.
And even if you've done it in one hospital, you have to redo it again.
You will redo it. So they don't say you have done it here, no. And then these tests, it's not all of them that insurance will cover.
Of course.
So there are some that you will pay out of pocket. You will pay,
and they're not cheap.
Me and you know that medical expenses in America.
Don't even go there.
I don't think
I'm still looking at one bill right in front of me. That's why they look at me every day. I can't kill myself and die.
That bill is a normal thing. My sister is a normal runs.
It is well.
So I was just like, here you go. My friend now advised me. She said, Tope, you will wait a little. Don't go yet, because she is someone that she also did she had to wait, and she did those tests, and she said these things are mentally draining, that can you try and just wait a little and just try and pray and just try again, like just do it one last time. Just, she now encouraged me. She said the NSPPD, you can just get serious with it, try to join, because it's like 2 a.m. here. So she said try to join and try to watch the testimonies and all that. And that was in October. So that October I said, okay, let me join the NSPPD. Because myself, looking at the series of tests and the bills and everything, I said, God, what is this? When I was even telling my husband, was like, no, what was all that? That's not the means at which we are going. He didn't even believe. He said, why am I stressing myself with this test? And if no, that's not God's will for us to be spending money on that kind of thing. That's negative aspects. By the time you even check again, they will now say you're fine,
something,
and you have spent. If they even find something and find a solution, is it not better than to check and then say, oh, you are fine, and then you have spent money? So I just joined. I started joining the NSPPD, and the testimonies basically lifted my spirits. Like there are some testimonies you just hear and be like, I'm not going through anything. If somebody can go through this and God did it, then my own is not too much for God to do. So in November was my birthday, so I just told myself that okay, I'm going to do a photo shoot, because the year before I was hiding. I did not do any birthday in. I said I will do a photo shoot. I beg, I can't kill myself. I will make myself happy. I cannot. At that point again, my mom was already here, because I was totally depressed, to the point where my mom had to come. Let me just enjoy my life. We'll go out. Let me not think about pregnancy. But then my dad now encouraged me that I should look for MFM, because I'm an MFM member from Nigeria. So he told me, said I should look for MFM around there and see if they do deliverance. I should just go there, maybe a weekend deliverance, and just go and pray. And I checked, and then I found MFM in Wole. And so I just said, okay. And funny enough, they now do deliverance every month. So I just said, okay, let me just join this October deliverance. So I went, I did the deliverance, prayed. I met with the pastor. The pastor met with my husband too and encouraged us. He said my husband should also lay his, like whenever I'm sleeping, he can lay his hand on my belly and pray for me. And that's also a prophetic thing to do. That's what he did when he was waiting, that he was praying for others and they were having babies and his wife was waiting. And that day he just laid his hand on his wife and prayed, and God did it. So he said that too, and he prayed with us. And as at October, was it October ending, or I think October ending, because it was like after I did my photo shoot, because I did my photo shoot for my birthday, and as at October ending, I now realized I was pregnant again. At this point, my sister, I did not even know how to express my emotions. I didn't even know. Honestly, it's you see it
because
and
you're
happy,
afraid.
But then,
it's a mixture of joy and fear.
At the point I told God, I said, God, is it possible that you should not even allow me know for the first 3 months, so that thing will even pass, and I'll know that okay, after 3 months I'm good. But the way it works, it's like I usually know very, very early. Like I will just know. And so my husband too, is like he knew. He was just telling me, go and do a test. Should I buy test strips? We almost fought though, because I told myself I'm not doing tests. It's not by force. I said, I'm not doing tests this time. Leave it. If it's there, fine. If it's not there, don't stress. It was just like that. He will come again. He will say, Topo, should I buy a test strip? I said, see, I have enough test strip at home. Don't waste your money. I already bought pack of 50. Don't bother.
Oh, God.
So I really told myself that I'm not even doing any tests. But when I now missed my period, and I said, okay, let me just do the test. I did the test, and it was positive. And this time my mom was with me, so she knew too. And I saw a doctor, and they checked. This is the first time they checked the heartbeat. And in the midst of all this, I was still unsettled. I won't lie. There was no point, even throughout the pregnancy, there was no point when I was not still
agitated,
feeling like this, that negative thoughts would just come. So the pregnancy was going smoothly, going for my appointments, everything was good. And then at between 19 to 20 weeks, I went for my anatomy scan. And then I spent over 2 hours in that. I remember my husband taking me, and he was going to work from there, and then he was like, I didn't know it's going to take this long. Even me, I didn't know. The woman was just like, please, I need to call your doctor right now, because it was the way they do it. You go to the radiologist to do your scans, and it's not going to be your personal doctor. So she was like, I need to call your doctor, just hold on. That's when I knew that it's like something's wrong. But she checked the scan, the baby was fine, everything was good. She was like, it looks like your cervix is dilating. I need to call your doctor. Like, she wasn't giving me the centimeter. I say cervix dilating at 20 weeks again. Immediately she called my doctor. I was now waiting because she said my doctor would call me. So the doctor called me. I was like, where are you right now? I told her I was in the hospital. So she was like, I should start going to the hospital the labor and delivery hospital is different from the normal routine hospitals that you go. So she said I should start going to Annie around there, start going to the labor and delivery hospital right now. I shall carry my bag. And it was raining again that day. I carried my bag and sat down. I booked the Uber because my husband already left for work. He didn't even know that like there was a problem. So I booked Uber and started going there. Got there. By the time I got there, my room was ready and they were already putting in the IV. You know America now. Anything to draw your blood. They're always ready.
Of course.
They're always ready to draw your blood. So they put in the IV and the nurse put in the IV and said I have to wait for the doctor. And then the doctor came. I was like, okay, so his service is supposed to be this long, but your room is this short, and it's a problem because you're just 20 weeks, and even right now, if your water breaks, we cannot help you because a pregnancy is only viable at 24 weeks. That's when we can help or do anything. Okay, so the best we can do now is like a cerclage, a stitch. There's something called a cerclage, like
to tie the cervix.
But they said that one is even an emergency cerclage because if you were going to do it, I'm supposed to have done it like at 12, 13 weeks, between 12 to 16 weeks. So we're like, okay, but that's what they can try and see if the emergency cerclage is gonna work. But again, it looks like my placenta is lying low, and if they stitch it, it might burst this one, that one. I say, God, what is this? The shah did the cerclage and told me that I will be on strict bed rest. That the doctor said, you are not going to be foolish to say you're going to Walmart. The way she even the way she said it, she said, you're not going to be foolish and say you're going to Target to buy baby clothes. You're going to sit down in your... Do you work from home? Because they were ready to like send me a letter to my job if I was going to the office. They said, no, you're not doing that. You have to stay in the house and do that. So the rest of the pregnancy, I had to be in the house, in the room, on the bed. And then now told me again that I had excess fluid. And so they said fibroid with the fluid can cause a tear on the cervix. That I have to be gentle. I have to not even do any stressful. She said, we're just trying to keep this pregnancy for as long as possible. I remember my doctor was saying that she would be so grateful if I can just make it to 34 weeks. I should be so grateful to God. I was just telling God, I said, God, it's me and you. This cerclage that they have done, that this one has to stay till full term. Me, I don't want NICU baby that they will now, I'll give birth 24 weeks. I'll now be going to the NICU. Going to look at how my baby is struggling, because that NICU is another story entirely. At the end of the day, at 35 weeks, I had my 36 weeks, I had my baby, and she came out very healthy. She was even bigger than the normal number of weeks. She came out healthy. She came out no jaundice, no nothing. Everything, all the tests, everything came out good. So I just want to thank God. So I'm grateful to God, and I just want to encourage all women out there. Maybe you've gone through a miscarriage, or maybe you are waiting and you don't even know when the waiting will expire. God is able to do all things. There's really nothing that God cannot do. And in your waiting season, try to prepare for what you have been waiting for. I didn't realize how much I don't know until I had my baby. Like, there was so much to learn. Start learning how to go on YouTube. Start learning how a breast pump works. Start learning how to use a car seat. Those are also faith lifters. You are telling God, that God, I'm ready for this thing. Start learning it, because there's so many. That one too is another journey. There's so much to learn in that aspect. So stop sitting down, brooding and crying, like me crying, when you should be working towards what you know that God has answered, because He will definitely answer. So that's my long short story, and I hope that I'm able to encourage one or two people out there that God never fails, and God.
I'm sure you've encouraged so many people, like so many people. I'm sure a number of people are already encouraged by your story, and I am so grateful. Thank you so much, Timmy, for coming to share your story again. Because of the stigma around that, not a lot of people are open to share, right? So I am so thankful, but I know that this is something that, it's better to relate with. It's better to understand when the person can relate with it, when the person has gone through it, right? So thank you so much for being that person for whoever is watching, and I really do hope that this video has been a blessing to you guys. Just know, and I love what you said about the fact that God has answered. See, God has answered. When you start praying for your baby, it's not the day God start creating the baby. The baby is already yours. God has given you your child. All you have to do is to receive it by faith, and through faith and prayers and confession, you cannot take away that confession. Just like you take, when doctor prescribe me, Pastor Mildred always says that, just like the doctor would say one afternoon, one day, one noon, one night. That's the way, that's the way she would do confession one afternoon. That's your pill. That is, and I love what you talked about faith, faith lifters, because sometimes your state of mind can also make it not happen, right? So you have to encourage yourself in the Lord. You have to go and find what God has said concerning you, not the general word that God has said to about fruitfulness. What is God saying to you? And you can only get that through the place of fellowship and all of that. And when you get your word, keep confessing your word. And sometimes I shared something recently on my Instagram page that the evidence is not in the result. The evidence is in the word. Once you find the word, that is all the evidence you need. And even when you're seeing the negative test strip, and I know, trust me, I know it's difficult it's easier to say than do, but even when you see it, right? Pastor Mido always says that, even when you see that negative, stuff, remind God of the word. That is the evidence. The fact that you've said it has settled. You already gave me the children, it's already mine. So what? Every other thing is settled. So when you find that word, keep saying it until you believe it. Keep saying it until it becomes a part of you. Keep saying it until your spirit, your soul, your body aligns with that word. Because trust me, once your spirit aligns, your soul aligns, your body has no choice than to align with that word, right? So because your body, every single part of your body was created by God, and it is God that gives children. It is God that gives children. It's not doctor. It's not. We've seen people without wombs. Doctor have told you don't even have a womb at all. This is not even pay your fallopian tube is blocked. And yet
this is like that is the greatest loss. Honestly, you can lose a car, you can you can recover, but you see that one, it's really God that can compensate, that can. Honestly. It's not even something you will still forget. You can't even forget.
Never.
Like the dates, the time, everything will still be fresh in your memory. But God
is willing to. Is really. Pastor Joshua Selma Apostle usually says that the system of advantage that we have as Christian is the fact that even though God has created times and seasons, God gave us a system of advantage called grace that can make, it will compress time. When all your mates have 3 children and God will give you the 3 at once. That is God giving you an advantage, right? That is when the doctor have told you that there is no time, you've gone to menopause, and God is saying no, like Sarah and the rest of it. So just hold on to God's word. And I love what you said about, if there's anything I've learned, it's, your faith confession hold on to God no matter how difficult it gets. You know, say your prayers, join whatever you believe in, because this is what I was listening to Kenneth Hagin last week, and he says that, see, some people can believe God that I am not going to do the tying of the cervix and all of that, and God will still keep my babies. That is the level of your faith. Other people, their faith is I will do it and God will sustain it. Don't let anybody make you feel like, oh, because you are going for medical health, because you are going for medical help rather, it means that you don't have faith. No, God will meet you at the level of your faith. So if your faith is that, God, as I am going to have this surgery, I will come back and this baby will stay just like yours, it will work. And if your own is, God, I will not do this surgery and I trust you, it will still work. No, faith is, it will meet you at the level of your faith, right? So those are the things that, you know, I keep bringing to remembrance from, you know, the things I've studied and all of that. And thank you so much. You have been such an encouragement to all of us. Thank you guys so very much. Remember that if you want to be a part of this series, you can always register. The link will be in my community tab. Community tab, if you go on my channel, the channel page, you will see videos, you will see home videos, you see shorts, and then community. Go on community, you will see the post that I made. And with the link, if you want to be a part, if you want to share so if you have a story that you believe will help people, please make sure that you share that using the link on the community tab. Thank you guys so very much for watching, and thank you so much, Tammy. Let me know if this video has been such a help to you. Let me know if you have any kind words to say to Tammy. I'm sure that should be in the comment section below. Thank you guys so very much. I am so grateful, and Tammy, God bless you so very much. All right guys, have an amazing week. Until we meet again, I still remain Victoria Ayodele Fash. Remember to like this video if you have not liked this video, subscribe to this channel if you haven't, and leave a comment. Yeah, so until we meet again, have an amazing week. Okay.